Well, joining me right now is Khushbu Sundar. She's an actor and she is Tamil Nadu BJP's Vice President. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking your time out. You're looking lovely. You're in the middle of a shoot as well. Still, you've chosen to speak. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Miss Khushbu, I'll just come straight to the point. What do you make out of what's happened in Tamil Nadu over the last several hours? An actor, a woman actor, being drawn into the thick of politics. It started with Trisha Trisha slogans at a DMK protest, went on to smirks and smiles, and a detention that followed. We'll get to the detention in a bit. But what do you really make out? How do you look at this as a politician, as a woman, as an actor?
As a woman, I say this is the most horrific thing to do to a person. You cannot bring in a woman at your whims and cries just because you want to gain some brownie points with your party men. That meeting was about the problem of Kaveri water. You want to attack the political party, the ruling party, as a leader of opposition. Do that politically. What was the necessity of bringing in a woman's name? And even if your party karas, like the LOP leader of opposition says, I didn't name anyone. I mean, your party men, it's so very clearly audible where your party men are screaming her name because you said there's only one problem the CM has right now. And then they broke out into the chants of this woman actor and they kept on repeating her name. And after that, you made one of the most vulgar comments in the history of politics about a woman. And then you say that I have nothing to do with it because I didn't name anyone. As a leader of opposition, as a man, you should have told your party members not to speak about a woman and say she has nothing to do with politics. Rather, you take it, you smile, you smirk, you give a very wrong pause, sending a very clear message as to the intent of your speech, your words that were chosen by you. You sent out such a horrific message that I'm a man, I'm a misogynist man, and I'm absolutely fine in defaming, degrading, speaking in such a vulgar manner about a woman. This is what I make out as a woman, which is not at all acceptable to me.
You know, TV debates and discourses are often criticized for being very clickbaitish, for being very, not nuanced. But there was something that came to my mind when I saw that, and for me, um, this was Udhayanidhi's Samerana moment. And why I said that? Because I saw enablers here. I saw people who could have stopped it from fueling further, and they did not. But that's from me. And you can, there's others who will come and differentiate between the two. Oh, the two are very different. Oh, the two are same. That's fine. But there was a point of where there seemed to have been an act that happened. And as you said, could have been stopped. A messaging could have been given against it. Or you could have even chosen not to hear it and just move on. Not the smile and smirk. That's one part of it. But the other part, do you see this as politics? Or
not at all.
Huh.
No, Sneha, not at all. I don't see it as a politics.
I
People
ask
can
you
say
this
what
because
they
Tamil
want.
Nadu has a history of it. And we'll get to that as well.
Exactly. And how long do you think women are going to keep quiet, shut their mouth, and be mute spectators every time they're abused by different men from different political parties? Come on, yeah, you need to put a full stop somewhere. And I'm glad that the new chief minister had the courage to put a full stop. If people look at it as a vendetta, I don't understand what the vendetta is. You're not in power. What is a vendetta about? You mean to say that Vijay, with a huge fan following, who has actually gone over 36% where people of Tamil Nadu have voted for him, you mean to say you are at par with him, you're in competition with him, you're competing with one larger than life hero, Vijay, and say that because he has a personal political vendetta against who, you you don't even stand a chance next to him. And as a woman, I say the kind of mass what we have seen with Vijay winning the election. Yes, your people have voted. I didn't say that Vijay has won completely. Yes, he fell short. People who were with you politically speaking, people who were with you in partners in crime like Congress, they walked out on you. They turned their back, they backstabbed you, whatever it is, they walked out of you. So you cannot say that you're competing with Vijay, a party, a leader like Vijay, or a party like TVK today. You have a legacy. You have your grandfather's legacy is there, your father's legacy is there. Whatever said and done, whether I like his father or not, the former CM, that's a different story altogether. But you have a legacy to take it forward, and you had a nice chance to bring in a new leaf, being a young leader, but you chose otherwise. You chose to prove that when it comes to DMK, it is about misogynist mindset. It is about hierarchy. It is about a mindset where it's my birthright to abuse women. You proved it yet again. So I'm not surprised by it.
So if you're saying what Udayanidhi did or said was not politics, um, it was not vendetta, it was misogyny. Do you think what Vijay did?
No, I'm saying vendetta. I'm saying what the accusation DMK and Udayanidhi are putting on Vijay, saying that getting Udayanidhi detained, arrested was a vendetta. So I am saying that cannot be a vendetta, because vendetta can be with people who are at par with each other. If it was Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi Kalinger, then I would say, okay, there was a vendetta because they both are at par. Here, Vijay is on a scale, you look at it, he's at 100, and probably Udayanidhi is not even on a double digit factor. So there's no vendetta from Vijay's side. That man is comfortable, cool in his own place with as the single largest party today.
So, moving from where you are leaving this, I want to ask you the next question, and that is then how do you see Vijay's act, Vijay's act, Vijay's government's act of detaining Udayanidhi? Why I ask you that question? Do you see that as politics? Do you see that as feminism? Or do you see it in a totally different way?
I look at it as a woman perspective. I look at it as a mother's perspective. I look at it as the future of my children. If we can put a full stop. And this is again not because people might say, or DMK would want to say, because it is CM's personal friend, he had done this. No, I'm glad this sets the record straight that when it comes to Tamil Nadu, you cannot take a woman for granted. And this sends a very clear message even to his own party men, that is for the ruling party, that you're not supposed to abuse a woman. If an action can be taken, if the leader of opposition can be detained, anybody can be detained for for talking ill about a woman, for talking, making very lewd and crass and crude and vulgar comments about women. Why I say DMK is because we have seen it in the past how the DMK speakers have been abusing women across the line, including me. When I was part of DMK, they have abused me. They have pulled my sari, they have pulled my hair, they have thrown slippers at me despite being part of DMK. And even then, Mr. M.K. Stalin was a mute spectator. Even today, though he is not in power, the former chief minister chooses to remain a mute spectator, and he will just support his son. But I say Udayanidhi, being a young leader who was heading as a deputy CM of the state, who was the youth affairs minister, and who was the leader of opposition today. He had a very good opportunity to say that I cannot allow anyone to insult a woman, to degrade a woman, to defame a woman. Rather, he chose otherwise. He gave in to his party members because they were hooting, they were clapping, they were whistling, and you went with the flow. That means you don't know how to control your emotion. That means that you're not fit to be a leader of opposition. When the person who spoke against me was suspended by the party for 3 months, why the same action is not taken against the leader of opposition by the former chief minister being the head of the party? Why can't you dismiss, or why can't you suspend your own party member for next 3 or 4 months or 6 months for that matter? Show some action. Why is that the ruling government always has to take an action? Can't you hold yourself accountable for the mistakes you have done? More than that, the kind of heroic welcome which DMK gave him, as if he is one freedom fighter. He fought a battle and he has come back. He's given up. He fought for the nation. No, you didn't. You insulted a woman, man. Please understand that. And you can't get a heroic welcome for insulting a woman. So this is something which is not acceptable. But I'm glad I'm glad that my chief minister, Mr. Joseph Vijay, had the courage to set a precedent and say that I'm setting it straight on record that a woman cannot be taken for granted. You cannot pass on a misogynist, vulgar, lewd comments about her. And this message is across the table for everyone.
You know, you're talking about precedents, and it is precedent. It is a precedent. It is a precedent when it comes to Tamil Nadu politics, and it is a precedent when it comes to national politics. Because across, I think it's very defined in Tamil Nadu politics. For decades, this has gone on. You have women who have been chief ministers, and you have been women who have been very close to the chief minister, and they have been dragged into all sorts of conversations in politics for decades.
Yeah.
Cut to national politics. This is no exception there as well. It will be a very different pattern from what's seen in Tamil Nadu because those women have not been in that kind of power. But still, you have women who have been in power, in positions, who have been parliamentarians and who have been dragged in similar situations. And when you use the word precedent, how do you see this? Are people now going to stand up and act? Because this is also a generation that's taking note. We have seen with what's happening in Delhi. And other parts. This is not a generation that will be a mute spectator and just see it on
No,
TV.
I want women to stand up. Why is it they are the mute spectators? Why can't they stand up for themselves? And it's not about this, my colleague or female actor in Tamil Nadu. I'm saying all over. Every time, one woman who had the courage to stand up was Jayalalitha when she was dragged, her hair was pulled, and she was insulted. She said, I will walk into the assembly only after becoming a chief minister. That woman had the courage. That woman had the guts to do it. And this is what she made a promise to herself. And she walked into the assembly as the chief minister. Person is as strong as Jalalita. But I want people to learn. I mean, politically, we are on different platforms. There have been times when I have spoken against her, but I have always admired her for her courage. And I think anyone, not political leaders alone, anyone who can inspire you, who are looking at a woman and saying, this woman stood up for her own dignity, for her own respectability, please stand up. Take a note from her, take the courage from her, stand up for yourself. Why are we always waiting for some man to speak up for us? Why can't we talk for ourselves? Why can't we just take the charge of our lives and say that no man can decide what I want to do with my life, how I should be treated, or how I should be respected? I think a woman has to take charge. She has to say, especially the next generation. And I say this as a mother of a 25-year-old and a 23-year-old. When my daughters stand up for themselves, I feel proud of them. And I want every girl child today to say that I am my own boss and I'm going to stand up for myself.
You know, when you're saying this, I just want to ask you this question. It's okay if you don't want to answer this as well, but would you have wanted Trisha to speak up as well on this case? She's been silent about a whole lot of things that have happened since the beginning, and she doesn't need to explain to anybody. I mean, no explanations whatsoever. But when something like this is said, do you
She
think for
doesn't
a
need to
person in her
explain.
position?
I think Trisha has already filed a complaint because prior to this, there was an issue again about Trisha, the same DMK people, and she had filed a complaint with NCW. So everything is not about being in front of the camera and talking about it, but taking an action is important. And Trisha, I've known her for many, many years, a very strong person. She's not as vulnerable as people assume that she is. She is a very strong person. She has filed a complaint, even filed a complaint with NCW also. So she is fighting her battles silently, just that it's not in front of people's eye that what she's doing, why she is silent. But everyone else, Trisha's name has been included because she's a celebrity. She is the chief minister's friend. So she's been pulled into this unnecessarily. But there are many a times we see women, how will men think it's my birthright to abuse a woman, to call her names? When you cannot do anything about a woman, when you know that she is far more powerful, far more well known, and has a larger fan following than what you do, then the easiest way for for a man is, to character assassinate her. And this is what these men have been doing all these years. I think this message should go out clearly that no man has the right to abuse me or to be judgmental about me. You can be opinionated. There are two vast difference between these two things, being judgmental and being opinionated. You have your freedom of expression. You can be opinionated. You cannot be judgmental about my life, about the way I live, or why I do it. So this message has to go clear to every political party and to every man out there in this world.
Right. Miss Khushbu, you know, while you're talking about character assassinations, it's about labeling women. It's not just their women, it's also their families that are dragged into controversies. There's no space left whatsoever. That's not the same treatment you would give a male politician. And you have been, I won't say a victim, I would say a survivor. You've been bold and holding your head high through all of that as well. And fiercely protecting your family and your kids, and appreciate that as well. But tell us, Khushbu, for someone who's not been following Tamil Nadu very closely, um, how are people in Tamil Nadu looking at this? You know, obviously Vijay has a huge fan following. He uh, came there with many people saying, "Oh, those are fans. They will not translate into votes." Sure, it did, and more than that. That's a different story. But how does Tamil Nadu really look at this at this stage? And I'm asking this because of the legacy of Tamil Nadu politics as well.
People were ready for a change. They were tired of the legacy we are talking about, and there is a vast change. Now, this message with Vijay's action has gone on very well with the people, especially the women and the families, that, it's not right for a man to abuse a woman. We have seen it in the past. We have been witnessing it. We have been suffocated. We have been asked to shut up. We have been taught that it's fine for a man to be misogynist and it's fine for a woman to be a mute spectator. But this message has gone down very well with the people, especially with the youngsters, with the Gen Z, what we are talking about, that it's high time somebody builds the cat. And we are glad that the new chief minister has finally built the cat.
You know, Miss Khushbu, um, a part of me, which is also used to covering politics very closely, a part of me is a woman and says this is glad that there was a full stop to this. And I think anybody else would think twice. I mean, unless they are really hard skinned and tone deaf and don't understand what they are doing, they will think twice before doing this again. Hopefully. I don't know whether it will go down to them so easily, but we hope there will be lessons learned. But there's other part of me which is very trained to look at politics as well. Uh, what would you tell to them that, listen, what Vijay did, action was important, but to detain somebody, to take them to the police station, to have them detained, some said arrested, but detained for so long, this is in excess. How do you look at that?
No, I wouldn't say excess. 3 hours. And you see, that's what I'm saying. You see the audacity of the DMK, that you give a heroic welcome to him. And the leader of opposition goes in front of the press and said, I never named the woman. Why was this hue and cry about it? I didn't name her. And, I would still continue to speak this the way I did if needed. So you see the audacity, that there's not even an iota of remorse in you. You're not apologetic as to what you have said. You're not ashamed that what you have said, or the kind of act you have done. But you say that I might do agree, I mean, readily do it again. And I didn't name anyone. So the mindset, you see the mindset of these men. This is what worries me. This is what worries me. And this, when I say worries me, it does not worry me, because there are people in your own party, the youngsters, who look up to you. You are the leader of opposition, your own people who gave you a heroic welcome after 3 hours of detention. They're looking up to you. So, what message are you giving the boys, the young minds who follow you, that it's okay to abuse a woman? Are you saying that I'm going to speak the same lines again, pull in somebody's name, a woman's name, and I have not named her, but I know who she is. Public are not dumb. They know who you're talking about. And you say it's okay to abuse because the women are going to be silent spectators. It's your birthright to abuse her. Is this the message you're giving it across to the young minds who follow you?
Do you also see him possibly captive to the legacy of Tamil Nadu politics, to how women have been played to the galleries to kind of get the public sentiment, to get the hooting? Was it just time deaf, tone deaf, generation deaf, uh, but in line with something that's been carried out? Are you willing to see a young leader like him in that light?
I dreaded the thought of a young leader like him who abuses a woman on the stage and gives a platform to his followers to continue the abuse. I dreaded the thought. I definitely wouldn't want a leader. I want a leader to take an action. I want a leader who can hold himself accountable. I need a leader who is not ashamed of being vulnerable. I need a leader who can say, I am sorry. I need a leader who can say, if someone has made a mistake, I apologize on their behalf. I want a leader who can think about women. I want a leader who can say that the people, especially women and children of my state, feel safer under me. I want that kind of a leader. And very unfortunately, I don't see that leadership qualities in Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin.
Right. You know, Udhayanidhi, of course, saying he didn't say any double meaning thing. He said what he said. But then the whole angle of how people around him reacted always stays. He can't move away from that. But I have to ask you another question, Ms. Khushbu. As an actor, there have been instances across states where actors have spoken up, women actors have spoken up, and then they are shelved um, for a particular reason, in a particular way. They are looked at in a particular way. Films dry up, offers dry up, money comes down. There's a whole lot of things at stake to speak up, even if you talk about Trisha for that matter. I'm not saying this is going to happen to her. But a lot of actors have spoken up, and you have WCC in Kerala, a living example of it. Many actors who've struggled since they have come open and spoken about sexual abuse as well, misogyny in films for that matter. It's a high cost to pay, even in today's time.
Sneha, where does this misogyny or this kind of sexual abuse doesn't happen? Please tell me why only cinema has been focused because it sells. You sit and talk about them. Film stars have the biggest film stars and cricketers. They have the biggest following actually. So you talk about them. I say in every field this happens, whether it is police department, whether it is doctors, whether it is any of the government jobs, everywhere. You name it, it's there. You have men who are misogynist, who cannot accept calling a woman as ma'am without any character assassination. Even in your field, when you succeed, the whispers go around. In any field for that matter, they say the whispers are, अरे compromise किया पता है बॉस के साथ इसलिए आगे बढ़ रही है. Why is it when a man succeeds, it's never that अरे उसने compromise किया इसलिए वो आगे बढ़ रहा है? Why those kind of whispers you never get to hear? Why is it about a woman? There's always this whisper that she has compromised and that's why she has succeeded. So I want to put a full stop to that. A woman succeeds because she is talented. A woman succeeds because she is determined. It's because she wants to see the success on her terms. It's not about adjustment or compromise. People forget to see the talent she has. People forget to see that how capable she is. It's always a woman who becomes the context of discussion as to why she has succeeded. So this needs to stop all over, not cinema alone, in every field. I want a man to say that, yes, I have a boss who's a woman and I'm proud of that. I think we are going towards that change, but people like Udaynidhi put a full stop to that and tell the young minds that no, women cannot succeed, women cannot be friends with anyone, women cannot be, have a personal relationship with anyone. You have to abuse her on a public platform in the most vulgar manner because I am a man and I have authority to abuse her.
My last question, you're in a shoot, I won't take more time, but to the naysayers who are going to get after me and say, you gave a platform to a BJP Neta, what did you expect her to speak? My last question to Khushbu Sundar, the BJP Vice President for Tamil Nadu. If you have a BJP Neta speak like this, would you be as strong as this?
Absolutely. I have done it in the past, irrespective of the party I belong to. To me, when it comes to the issues of women and children, my stance is very clear. Today, if I fail in front of my children, and if my children stop respecting me, that will be the end of me. I have to stay strong and I have to call a spade because I have two daughters who are absolutely critical and they have been brought up in an atmosphere where we believe in equality. We have never told them that that the man has to be the man of the house and you really have to be submissive towards them. We have brought up our children saying that when if you see any kind of abuse, stand up, speak up, give it back. And I have very strong children who are very feminist, and of course they have their own mind, their own political inclination, how they think, how they react to certain things. But today, if I fail as a woman, if I'm going to be selective about the way I feel about women because I belong to one particular political party, I will be failing my children, and I will be failing as a woman too. And if that happens, I cannot have my good night's sleep, and that is very, very important to me.
Khushbu Sundar, more power to you. May many, many more women start speaking up like this. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Sneha. Pleasure speaking to you.